Fans of David Letterman would know you. I actually went watched the compilation somebody made of
Okay.
all the times you beat up the
I'm seeing it on
announcer.
the
Yeah, how did
screen.
that come about?
Alan Coulter. Alan Coulter was absolutely one of the greatest television announcers in the business. I mean, this guy was a rock star. He goes back to you know you know years and years and years. He was doing the talk shows and the $100,000 pyramids and this and all the game shows and different talk shows. And anyway, they brought me in originally. All right, I'm with a gentleman named Don Hewitt Sr. He's a stuntman. His family, the Hewitts, are synonymous with top action stunts and acting here in New York and abroad. Anyway, Don Hewitt Sr. is sitting in a car. I was doing a movie called Coyote Ugly, and I was stunt doubling John Goodman, which I've done several times over the years. But I'm stunt doubling him, and when we broke the lunch, they said, "Well, we're out on the Rockaway Beach over in uh, Queens, so we're over there, and we're gonna have lunch." But they said we're just gonna bring lunch here, and we're gonna sit in the cars because we're doing a car scene, and we're out on the main road. Instead of breaking and everyone disappearing, and we can't find everyone, we're gonna stay here and bring the food to you, and you can just relax. And the beach is there. You can sit in the cars, put on the air conditioning because it was hot as hell. And I'm sitting on the hood of a car eating a sandwich, and Don Hewitt, who I had worked with on a film called Dead Presidents years before, he said, "Listen," he goes, "why don't you come in here? I got the air conditioner on." I said, "Oh, wonderful. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Guy's a legend in the stunt business." I sit down and we're talking and we're gabbing. Well, I can chat. And I see, I go on these tangents. We're talking back and forth. And he looks at me and he goes, "Have you ever worked on the Letterman show, David Letterman show?" I go, "No, sir, I have not." I said, "But I love it. I mean, I've been watching it since I was a kid, up in Boston, the whole thing." I said, "They're fabulous and dropping the watermelons off the buildings and doing these crazy, stunts and skits." I said, "It's a great show." He goes, "Well, I'm going to submit you for something." He goes, "How are you with stair falls, falling down stairs?" I said, "Good. I'm good to go." So, whatever you need to do. He goes, "The thing, the catch is here." He had approached a couple of the other stunt guys, I guess that week, and he said that Dave may want to interview you, or there's going to be some discussion back and forth, and it might be, just on the go. Boom, boom. You got to be quick, right? Well, that kind of made a few of these guys shy from it a little bit. And I said, "No, I'm good." He could throw anything he wants at me. I said, "I'm from Boston." I said, "I got the gift of gab. I'm Irish." I said, "I'm good to go. Let's do this." Anyway, about 3 days later, I didn't think anything of it. I actually was like forgot almost about it. All of a sudden, I get a call. "Hi, Brian. This is Joe Lederman. I'm one of the producers, the segment producers for the writers, and we want to bring you in this week." Okay, that's fine. It was September 15th, 1999, a day that will live on in infamy. Uh, I show up, they get me ready. They said, "Here's the deal. We're going to have you do this, and you're going to, Dave's going to come to you and he's going to talk to you, but it was going to be a goof. It was going to be they were going to make it a goof, a comedy bit." I said, "Okay, whatever he's going to do. I don't know." And so I'm there, and they said, "We're going to, maybe put a helmet on you, put these pads on you. You really all wrapped up. And then you go to do the, as we're talking, we keep adding pads so it looks like, well, anyone can do it. And then we're just going to have you fall and get stuck on the first step." And Dave's going to go, "Well, that was a lot of buildup for nothing. Paul, what do you think?" "Oh, geez, Dave, that was terrible." They're going to mock it. So Dave's watching the camera. They have the sound playing, and he's watching us in this rehearsal or when they're talking me through this thing. And I was so receptive to everything they said. I said, "Whatever you need to do, I'm here. I'm at your disposal. I'm here to do a show. Whatever your show is, I'm here to do that." Well, now, Jill Lederman gets on her radio, and she's like, "Yes, okay," gets on the phone. She disappears, the producer that called me originally. She disappears, and she comes running back, and she goes, "Do you have any of your stuff from the wrestling or, the stunt work or the acting stuff? Do you have any of your headshot, your resume, anything?" And I said, yeah, I've got Dawn, went and got it, the coordinator, gave it to her. She disappeared now for another 5-10 minutes. All of a sudden, now we're about a half hour or 40 minutes away from show. And she turns and she comes back and she goes, yeah, check, yeah, copy that, we're good, yeah, okay. And she's whispering to the camera guy, she's talking to the director, uh, she's talking to the producers, everyone else, and Jerry Foley, the director. And she says, okay, here's the deal. Dave said, this is not a joke anymore. You've done more so far in your career with shows and things and worked your way up and started here and worked up that ladder. He goes, we're not gonna make a mockery of that. He goes, we're gonna take you straight, and you tell this kid, he told her, you tell this kid we're gonna give him the biggest push he's ever had in his life tonight, and get ready for the ride because it's gonna be fast and furious. And we did. And he came on, he goes, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the late show. And he starts doing, he goes, we got a guy, and he does this whole thing. Well, we did the steel falls. He's talking to me. Well, geez, you hit your head, and I did fall. I ended up doing 4 or 5 falls that night. And Meatloaf and John Leguizamo backstage, and they're waiting to come out. Well, they kept delaying them. And Meatloaf had just gone platinum with another record. He made his big, I won't say comeback because he was always there, but he made a big surge up again. John Leguizamo had won the Tony Award for one-man Broadway show. And then me, the guy that's going to fall down the stairs. And that all came from having a sandwich in a car at the Rockaway Beaches over in Queens. And from that, they kept calling, and then they said, we want you to do a bit where you come out and you punch Alan in the face. You're going to be his son, Tyler. And he's going to talk about his 3-year-old son. He's a little kid. He's so sweet, but he can be a little aggressive sometimes. And Dave goes, oh, I didn't even know you had a son. Yeah, come on out, Tyler. And I'm standing there in black jeans, Harley Davidson biker boots, a cut-off shirt. You know, I'm 280 pounds, my hair pushed back, and I look at Alan, and I go and I will him and I pummel. Well, it took a liking to it, and they realized that this is something that we can slide in there at any point. And I could be filler. I could be someone that's a great sight gag for a show like his, and I was there for 16 years. 16 years. I did at least 100, I'd say 150, 160 shows, which for a show like Letterman, I mean, you know, the only ones that are on more than that are Paul Schaefer, David Letterman, Biff Henderson, Alan Coulter, and, you know, the people that are there doing the show. And so, yeah, I had a great run with them, and knock on wood, I appreciate everything Mr. Letterman did for me, and he took a liking to me, but he said, a big part of it, Jerry Foley said to me one time, a big part of you being here in the longevity of your stay with us is that you know how to talk to people. He goes, not just us, but everything is watched. In other words, you're outside. The same as with WWF with Arnold Skaaland. That's why he trusts me with so many tickets to the general masses in the town, because I would be out at Letterman, I'd be taking pictures. I walked out of the stage door one night with Peter Gabriel from Genesis, all right, rock god. I walked out, and this woman and her family are out there. You know, people used to, especially in the summer months, it was nice out. There'd be hundreds, thousands of people outside waiting to see the stars come in and out. I come walking out with Peter Gabriel at the end of the show, and all of a sudden the lady says, oh, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture? And Peter Gabriel fixes a nice guy, not no swag to it. But he walked out, he goes, oh, yes, hello, with the British accent, right? And he goes, yes. And she hands him the camera. He goes, ah. They all start getting around me. We want the guy, they were from Minnesota. We want the guy that hits the guy. We want this guy. So that was great. But yeah, I had a great experience with them. And I also always had a second home there at 53rd and Broadway. And that lasted for years. And just, yeah, it was great. All from a sandwich in a car at the Rockaways.
So all your experiences with David are positive. Do you have any insights about him that his fans watching this might be interested to know?
Absolutely. He was a people said a lot of people you hear say, well, Dave could be harsh or rough or, like very strict with things on the set or in the show, whatever. Let me tell you, he's a professional and he wants things done right. And he's the type of guy that, like, if we're going to do it, why not do it 150, 200%? Let's not just make 100. Let's go for it. And he was always trying to bring it up a notch, and so I love that. And he was always very pleasant with me, and um, like I said, they were all very kind there, and you know, hugely professional. So he was great. He was fabulous, like, and just wanted it right. That's it. He wants it right. It's his
Now,
show.